In basketball, a win can be the ultimate disguise. Team USA walked off the court with a victory over Spain, but what the scoreboard didn't show was chaos hidden behind talent. Generational players were on the floor, yet the system faltered. Possession stalled, and the one player who could have carried the team, Caitlin Clark, was relegated to the sidelines, her brilliance constrained by baffling coaching decisions. And still, even limited and misused, she nearly posted a double-double, creating order in a game that was anything but. This is the story of how raw talent clashed with strategy.
What are we doing here? Caitlin Clark finished the game 7 points, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Only 1 turnover for Caitlin Clark, so she took care of the ball. 7 assists. This was Caitlin Clark making do with what she had. You know, the 7 points, she missed a good amount of 3-pointers. But the 7 assists shows that.
And what it reveals about the true cost of ignoring your greatest weapon. From the very tip-off, it was clear that something was off on paper. Team USA was supposed to steamroll Spain, speed, skill, and size all stacked in their favor. But the first possessions told a different story. The ball moved slowly, players hesitated, and the spacing was all wrong. Instead of letting Caitlin Clark control the offense, she was positioned off the ball, standing in the corner while the rest of the team trudged through half-court sets. Each possession felt like a missed opportunity, a moment where the team's potential was smothered by indecision. Even with superstars on the floor, the offense lacked rhythm, and Spain immediately noticed.
Ball. 7 points, missed a few open threes. Easily could have been 13-7. Easily could have been 13-7. But that's not the way the cookie crumbles. Shout out to Jim Garrett. Caitlin Clark in the first half today, 5 points, 4 assists, 0 turnovers.
They pressed, crowded the paint, and exploited every hesitation, turning what should have been a showcase of dominance into a study in inefficiency, even in a system designed to limit her. Caitlin Clark refused to be invisible. Every time she touched the ball, something happened. The pace increased, passing lanes opened, and opportunities appeared out of thin air. 7 points, 7 assists, 1 turnover on paper. It looks modest in context, it's nothing short of extraordinary. She was creating order in chaos, turning broken possessions into something resembling structure. One play captures it perfectly. Clark grabs the ball near her own baseline, spots a teammate sprinting down the court, and launches. A full-court pass supersized it slices through Spain's defense like a laser.
It doesn't look smooth at all. It doesn't look like there's a rhyme or reason to anything. A lot of freestyle offense. Even the announcers made note, like, the offense just looks like they're freestyling out there. Looks like they're just throwing you-know-what at a wall and hoping it sticks.
No hesitation, no setup, pure vision and execution, even without being the focal point. She forced the game to bend around her, proving that a truly generational talent doesn't just adapt. They dominate even when the system isn't built for them. While Clark worked tirelessly to create opportunities, Spain recognized the cracks immediately. They saw a Team USA offense that lacked rhythm, that lacked identity, and they pounced. Every half-court possession was met with crowded lanes, disciplined defensive rotations, and a calculated patience designed to frustrate. And Team USA, instead of adjusting, played right into it. The ball was walked up slowly, movement stalled, and isolation plays became the default. What should have been a high-speed, small ball attack turned into a grinding, predictable offense.
There's 9 points, 2 assists. Kelsey Plum, 18 points. Erica Hamby, 14 points. Ka Copper, 20 points. A lot of Ka Copper's points, straight up ISO ball. A lot of
The mismatches created by Clark's sidelined positioning went largely untapped, leaving open shots missed and fast break chances wasted. Spain didn't just compete, they exposed a system that was failing to leverage its greatest weapon, and the consequences were obvious. Contested shots, clogged lanes, and a game that could have been a statement of dominance instead became a showcase of missed potential. And yet, amid the chaos, Clark shone like a beacon, even with the offense designed to minimize her impact. Every time the ball found her hands, something extraordinary happened. She didn't just pass, she orchestrated. She didn't just score, she created opportunities where none seemed possible. One play captures this perfectly, securing the ball near her own baseline. She instantly spotted a teammate streaking down the court and launched a perfect full-court pass that sliced through the defense like a laser.
Head down. Erica Hamby calling for the ball in the post, calling for it and calling for it. And they gave it to her, she converted. Chelsea Gray, 8 points, 4 assists in 26 minutes.
No hesitation, no wasted motion, just precision and vision that left Spain scrambling. These moments weren't just highlights. They were a glimpse of what the team could be if they finally embraced her strengths. Every assist, every drive, every intelligent decision reminded everyone watching that Clark isn't just a player. She is a system unto herself, capable of turning broken possessions into scoring chances and stagnant half-court sets into fast break opportunities. The brilliance was undeniable, and it begged the question, what could this team achieve if they finally let her run the show? But brilliance alone can only do so much. The tragedy of this game wasn't Clark's performance, it was what the rest of Team USA failed to capitalize on every time she touched the ball. There was potential energy waiting to be unleashed, but the system repeatedly failed to convert it into results. The spacing was compressed, players hesitated, and isolation plays became the default. Instead of running the floor, using the small ball speed, and exploiting Spain's bigger, slower forwards, Team USA voluntarily slowed the game down. They walked the ball up the court, ran half-court sets, and allowed Spain to dictate the pace. Every possession that wasn't initiated by Clark felt predictable, uninspired, and utterly avoidable. It was a series of missed opportunities piled on top of each other, where the talent on the roster should have made the difference, but the coaching choices actively suppressed it. And yet, even in this environment, Clark managed to create openings, force defenses to shift, and keep her team afloat. Proof that a generational talent can survive a flawed system, but also a warning that wasted potential is still wasted points. Spain recognized the dysfunction immediately. They saw a Team USA offense that lacked rhythm, lacked spacing, and lacked direction, and they didn't hesitate to exploit it. Instead of trying to run with speed or force mismatches, Team USA walked the ball up the court, allowing Spain to dictate the pace. The paint was crowded, passing lanes were clogged, and every possession was met with resistance. What should have been a fast-paced, high-energy game became slow, predictable, and unnecessarily contested. Spain's defensive discipline highlighted every flaw, hesitation became costly, isolation plays were met with stacked defenders, and opportunities created by Clark or other scorers were minimized because the system refused to adapt. It was a textbook case of what happens when talent isn't paired with strategy. Even the best players can be neutralized if the framework around them collapses, and yet, amidst all the dysfunction, Clark's brilliance refused to be muted. Every time she had the ball, she transformed disorder into opportunity. One play captured it perfectly. She secured the ball near her own baseline, scanned the floor in an instant, and delivered a full-court pass that sliced through Spain's defense like a scalpel. It wasn't just a highlight, it was a statement. It showed what this team could have been if the system had been built around her, not against her. Her vision, timing, and basketball IQ turned broken possessions into fast breaks, forced turnovers into scoring chances, and created spacing where there was none. 7 points, 7 assists, 1 turnover, numbers that, on paper, seem modest, but in context, reveal the magnitude of what she accomplished. Clark was not just surviving the flawed system, she was bending it to her will, forcing results where the strategy failed and proving that even limited, generational talent can dictate the flow of a game. This game isn't just a story about one bad system or one brilliant player, it's a warning. It shows how fragile even the most talented teams can be when strategy fails. Team USA walked away with a win, but the cracks were visible to anyone paying attention. It's a reminder that dominance isn't automatic, that talent alone doesn't guarantee success, and that the right structure, the right usage of players, and the willingness to adapt are just as critical as raw skill. Caitlin Clark nearly delivered a double-double while being actively limited, and that alone should terrify opponents when she is finally unleashed in her natural role. The lesson is clear: suppressing generational talent doesn't just limit the individual, it limits the entire team, and moving forward, every coach, player, and fan should take note. The margin between unstoppable and vulnerable is thinner than we often assume. Looking ahead, the real story begins when Caitlin Clark is allowed to play freely in her natural role. This game was a glimpse of what's possible, a preview of chaos turned into precision, disorder transformed into opportunity. Imagine a system built around her vision, her pace, and her instincts. Imagine the full power of her passing, her spacing, her ability to pull defenses apart. The rest of the league, both domestically in the WNBA and internationally, should be bracing for impact. If this performance, while constrained, was nearly enough for a double-double, what happens when there are no limits? The statistical damage, the fast break orchestration, the gravitational pull she exerts on the court. It's going to redefine what it means to run an offense at the highest level. Every team will now know underestimate her, and you're already behind. The anticipation isn't just hype, it's a coming storm of basketball mastery. In the end, This game wasn't just about a win or a loss. It wasn't about a final score or an undefeated record. It was about seeing the limits of a system and the limitless potential of a player. Caitlin Clark, even when misused, reminded the world what true generational talent looks like. She turned frustration into brilliance, confusion into clarity, and limitation into influence. Team USA may have survived this matchup, but the lesson is undeniable. Talent alone does not guarantee dominance. Strategy, vision, and the courage to play to your strengths are just as critical. And when it comes to Clark, the ceiling is not just high, it's astronomical. The future of this team, and the WNBA as a whole, will be defined by what happens when she is finally unleashed in her natural role. This isn't a story of defeat, it's a story of warning, of anticipation, and of promise. The world now knows. Suppress a generational player, and you risk underperformance. Let her play. And the possibilities are endless, for fans, for teams, and for basketball itself. The most exciting chapter is yet to come.